good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to, actually this is going to be one of my biggest videos yet, but I'm not going to do it all in one video. Actually, I'm going to do a video from level 1 to level 100, and then from there all the way to level 110, without any type of XP boost whatsoever, except the only XP boost I'm allowed to have is the ones that I get from the inn for being logged out for a certain amount of time. It's going to be no potions, no special gear, no nothing. It's going to be 100% legit. The only question is, what type of character should I make? I don't play monk very often, nor warlock, so I'm just going to go ahead and do monk. And I'm going to play human, because that's my main class. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I played human too much. I'm going to play night elf. I actually love night elves. I'm just going to do things by random. I'm not just going to do like blah 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 blah. Except for the hair color. That I'm going to change. I don't know why, but I just want purple. I'm just going to do random name. I only have maximum level characters. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Sorry about that little hiccup. I didn't know I had that many characters, so I was able to fix it. I'm just going to change the name up a bit. I'm actually going to do that one. Okay, here we go. Level 1 monk. Well, night elf monk, because I like, for the alliance and everything, blah blah blah. But like I said, I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm going to only use my own buffs. I'm going to use my own potions, not like those XP boosts and whatnot. Whatever ones I actually create, or whatever I loot off of mobs. But I'm going to have no special boosts, no XP boosts, no special gear, except for the ones I'm going to get from dungeons and quests. So yeah, this is going to be a 100% legit video. 100% legit. So yeah, starting off from noob, going all the way up. And keep in mind, once I reach level 15, I'm probably just going to do straight up dungeons from this point. But I'm going to continue on with the quests as well. And here we go. We're starting off level 1. In fact, the only thing I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to fuck around with my key bindings and whatnot. So let's move that right here. Oops. Put that right here. And now we fuck around with the key bindings. Do that, and we're good. Alright? So without further ado, let's get started. Now, everything, like I said, 100% legit. As for what spec I'm going to be playing as, once I reach level 10, I'll put a link in the description for which you can choose whether I can be DPS, tank, or a healer. I mainly tank with my other characters, but I like to go DPS sometimes, and I will not play healer. But whatever has the highest votes, I will do that. And as we venture on, I know it's taking a long time. Some people will be like, oh, why are you wasting your time doing this kind of bullshit? Why are you doing this? Well, good question. I've been seeing videos all over YouTube, people showing like world records and stuff, or the quickest way to get to level 100 and whatnot. But you're basically using XP boosts like Recruiter Friend or XP potions. The only XP boost that I'm going to be expecting in my videos is the ones that are down here that I get from Innkeeper or any major city I go to, because that's legit. And some people will help me for some stupid reason. I'm not going to consider that as faulty. Whoever wants to help me, that's up to them. I'm just using fist weapons. But yeah, like I said, none of all this bullshit in here. Not gonna use any of that. Just whatever gears I loot off the mobs, whatever gear I get off from quests, and whatever gear I get off of dungeons or raids when I get to that certain level. Alright, and we just got done with our first quest. And there's one piece of gear that I can add on. For monks, you only wear leather. Monks, you can play as either tank, DPS, or healer. But overall, you start off as DPS no matter what, because obviously you need to get to the damage. But once you get into a later time, you can choose whether to be healer or not. Alright. And just gonna let my energy regen and whatnot. And if you hear noise in the background, I do apologize for that. I actually have my daughter with me, but I won't let that get in the way. Alright, and when you're looting, your best bet is just to loot the quest items. Don't worry about anything else. And actually, this video will also be intended for any new players who are just joining World of Warcraft for the first time, or playing Starter Edition and like to get some hints, clues, and tips on how to play the character. Now I'm telling you right now, your health regen is going to be really slow, and so is your energy, mana, or rage. And as for the other characters, if you purchase the expansions, there's Death Knight, which you need to have, I believe you gotta have a level 70 plus character, possibly level 90, I'm not exactly sure. But you start off as level 55 for Death Knight. And if you're playing Demon Hunter, I believe you gotta have a level 70 plus. I forget which because I haven't played the game in a while. You start off as level 98. So that's pretty much it right there. Other than that, you start off as level 1. And you can basically play any character, including Monk, if you're a starter user, except for Death Knight and Demon Hunters. And as for the Starter Edition, you can only go up to a maximum of level 20. But when you purchase the other expansions, they're only going to allow you to purchase the battle chest, which will give you all the way to Warlords of Draenor for about $20 US. Depending on what time of the day or season, they may put it on sale, which will make it cheaper. And then once you get all that done, you can purchase the next expansion, which will be Legion, which I currently have right now. So yeah. And for those of you who are actually returning players, it's actually a good idea to watch this kind of videos and whatnot, because you may have forgotten a lot about the game or haven't played it for like years or anything, and you would like to see what new changes has come up. Oh, excuse me. I'm probably not going to talk very much during these videos as well, because there's usually not a whole lot to talk about, but usually in the beginning of the video I like to give out tips and information about how the video is going to go on and how everything is going to work. And when you do look at your gear, make sure it fits within your character's type of gear. Like mages, warlocks, you get cloth. Druids, monks and demon hunters are leather. Hunters, shamans are mail armor, and any other character can wear plates, which would be like paladin, death knight, warrior. It just depends on the type of character. Now I'm going to tell you one thing unique about a specific character, which is called a druid. You get 4 different specs, but each of them are really special. For the druid, you basically are like 3 different types of characters all in one. Basically, if you go tank, you get this bear form, which will give you the ability of rage, will be the power of a warrior. If you go feral, which is a cat form, you basically get close range DPS, kind of like a rogue because you can stealth and stuff. Balance, or what other people call it, is boomkim or boomy. You get range DPS, kind of like a hunter or a mage. And then obviously the healing, so you can heal other players and whatnot. And here's some other things about for new players. Once you reach level 10, you can start going into battlegrounds, PvP battlegrounds. Once you reach level 15, you can start doing arena scrims or dungeons. And obviously once you reach max level 20, you basically are stuck right there at this point. You can either switch up to a different character, or if you really like the game, you can go ahead and purchase the expansion on the Battle.net website. If you already purchased the expansion, then that's good. Once you reach to my level 20 videos, then you'll have some more information on how things go. So level 20, you can actually start riding your own mount. Even starter edition users can do that. Level 40, you can still ride your same mounts, but you go a heck of a lot faster. So instead of being a 60% speed increase, you get a 100% speed increase. Level 60, you can start flying. I believe either level 70 or level 80, you could fly in the not the Blasted Lands, Hellfire Peninsula. And once you reach level 68, you can fly in Northern, which is where the Lich King expansion will go into play. But in order for you to reach into the Blasted Lands, or not Blasted Lands, god damn it, Hellfire Peninsula, you just gotta have the Burning Crusade expansion. To reach past level 80, you need the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. Well, up to 85, you need Cataclysm. Level 90, Mists of Pandaria. To level 100, Warlords of Draenor. And obviously to 110 would be Legion. Hopefully this video don't get too outdated. It really shouldn't very much. This is just hints and tips on how to raise your character, how things work. Because after a certain time, once I reach close to like level 80, level 90, that's when you actually need to start updating your videos. I think somewhere around that time it's when I'm gonna update some of my old videos, because you don't like being stuck with outdated videos. But I will keep this video for future reference, especially for new players. And when it comes to a certain point in time, I will make a updated video, or I'll give some updates about the expansion or any special patches, because this video is currently being placed on the patch 7.2.5 list. As you can see, I'm battling a level 5 and I'm still a level 4. So hopefully you be playing your character right if you can actually go like 1 or 2 levels past your yeah, if you do like kill mobs that are like 2 levels above you, then I guess that's good. But the thing is, if you're wearing that very special type of gear, you can basically do like an instant kill. And yeah, that doesn't seem fun when you just do it like that. You basically get all these XP boosts and whatnot. You're not getting the fun or the entertainment out of it. Cause I seen an old video by Soda Poppin ranting about World of Warcraft and how Lostarius got shut down, and how he enjoyed logging in, being a level 1, and then earning his way to being level 100. honestly, for me, about these updates, for certain people who are like, oh fuck this, I don't want to deal with all this leveling and bullshit, they will basically waste 60 US dollars just to get to level 100. That's just stupid. But even if you do not do the special boosts, some people are saying you could legitimately get to level 100 in a single day, which could be like between 2 hours to 5 hours, 10 hours, depending on how much of a player you are. When I used to play WoW and I didn't really have any of the BOA gear or anything, I actually got to level 1 to 60 weekends only in just 1 month. 1 month. Because I was doing dungeons, quests, and all that, I couldn't stop. But I was playing weekends only because I was stuck with school and whatnot. I can actually play a little more often, but usually I gotta still manage time because got my daughter to take care of, I got work to take care of, and pretty soon I'm gonna go back into online college and start doing more video editing and whatnot. Maybe some game designing and stuff. But yeah. Shoot, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, like I said, I'm probably not gonna talk much after a while because this is just too much information, you know, all this gibberish. But if I do forget some specific information, I may leave it in the description below. And this is the final part of this city. And you are basically free to go. And usually you be level 5 by the time you leave here, but I didn't really kill a whole lot of mobs. And they give you a buff to slowly fall down. And you get the achievement called Going Down, basically falling 65 yards without dying. Now if you're a character that's a panda, you can easily earn that achievement. It's pretty easy because they give you a racial passive ability that reduces fall damage by, I believe, 50%. In fact, certain characters have their own racial abilities and passive abilities. Like for a night elf, you get Shadow Melt, which means you basically stand there in stealth. You can't really move or anything. You just only stand there or sit. And it's pretty useful in battlegrounds, especially if you're trying to defend the flag carrier and you want to act like, oh, no one's there. We can easily take that motherfucker down. But in reality, you're just gonna find out. They're gonna find out, being like, "Oh fuck, we got set up, shit." And I had that happen to me so many times. But yeah, I believe I did a video like this before. It just didn't really go all that well for me because I don't always like playing ranged characters like hunters, mages, and whatnot. I'm starting to try to do so, but I'm always too focused on my high level characters. I have a level 110 warrior, which I'm actually doing dungeons, time walking dungeons, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the raiding, more PvPing, and whatnot. So if you want to watch my old videos with my high level characters, you can. Or, like I said, just watch this video. There will come a time, one day, that I don't know for sure, but I may perform a 24-hour stream, level 1 to level 100, but I'm going to play a different character at the time, for that time. But yeah, without further ado, enough with the gibberish. We are finally into the next part of the city. So I'm going to show you another cool thing you could do. And this is going to get Hearthstone into play right here. You are now approaching into a inn, which you'll see Z's on your character. If you are logged out in one of these or into a major city, you will notice that your XP will be boosted from 100% to 200%. And depending on how long you stay in the inn, you may earn a lot, you may earn some, or not a whole lot. Now if you're in here for like a couple of minutes, you can have that extra XP just for one kill. Now if you're doing quests that won't affect your XP, but yeah, the only time it'll affect your XP is when you kill. But here's my reasons or no, scratch it, goddamn, other reasons why I actually want to do this. It's because like I said, a lot of people doing videos saying here's the quickest way to get up to level 100 within a day. I hate that, because there are new players who are like, oh my god, that's not fair, how do you do this, how do you actually blah blah blah. You need a level 110 character who can actually get the money and stuff, make the potions and whatnot, or find where to farm them. But I may also do other videos like gold farming legit and everything else. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this quest, which will require me to fly to the cities. Actually, these are still legit right here. You could basically use flight masters to get you to where you need a little bit quicker. That's still legit. Excuse me. That way, this is one way to not waste time getting to where you need to go. But at least you can give your fingers and hands a rest, let yourself stretch up and whatnot. If you have a long flight, literally a long flight, then just walk around for a couple of minutes, stretch your legs, stretch your arms, give yourself a little rest. And then by the time you're done with all that and you finally land, you can finally continue where you left off. And yeah, now let's go into actually, you know what? As I mentioned earlier, you get your own mount. Since I'm a night elf, normally I'm supposed to get these types of mounts. However, you can actually get mounts from other cities now. But if I were to get this mount with a night elf, you need to have a reputation of either revered, I think I said it right, or exalted to be able to purchase it with your night elf. Otherwise, you gotta get it with a dwarf. But now you're actually saving all your mounts into one. This one I can actually access. I'm gonna go ahead and mount it and show you. That's when you actually get the achievement Hurlem holder, which means you gotta have at least 25 or more Hurlems collected. And if you don't know what that is, that's the BOA gear I was talking about earlier. You can get these if you wanted. These are special tabards that you can wear, and I don't have enough money for it, so I'm gonna sell some bullshit. And I still do not have enough. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. Still don't have enough. That's fine. Once I get back, you can actually wear those, and that's really helpful if you're like level 15 or better, because you can use those to increase your reputation to different cities in dungeons. And you can do the same thing with the guild. Okay, guilds. If you purchase the expansions, you can actually join guilds now. But actually, when you purchase the expansions, only certain restrictions will be lifted, because usually it's about a 72-hour process. Like, once you purchase the expansions, the battle chest, you can immediately go past level 20 at this point. And it will let you know that if you're capped on a level, you'll still see your XP bar, but it will not budge, it will not move or anything anymore until you purchase the expansions. Once you reach the exact maximum, your XP bar just goes bye-bye. It just disappears. It's done. You finally completed the game. However, there are certain people who are like really high level that like to join raids and stuff, just not only for the fun of it, but to be able to get more of the excitement. And people usually take advantage of those to get geared up quickly, get their noobs geared up. But yeah, guilds, they're usually helpful, and there's certain ones that are social. If you're level 110 and you actually want to do raids for the first time, just be careful what guild you go in, because there will be dickheads that will kick you out if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I've had that happen to me so many times. I literally reported the person for unfairness of the game. Because what's the point of even joining a guild if you can't even raid? Like, I literally don't care if we don't get pretty far fast. It's just after a certain amount of times the whole group gets wiped out, then yeah, we have a problem. But instead of just bashing on the person, then just help the person learn. Don't just be like, you're no good, I'm gonna kick you out. Maybe I'll kick you out of the guild too. You're just basically proving you're a complete asshole. And who wants to play with an asshole? Sure, there are times I could be an asshole myself as well. Especially, the one thing I hate dealing with rage quitters. Especially when it comes to PvP, I deal with those kind of people so many times. Like, let's say one person screws up, but I win for the whole group. I thought he may continue, but you know what? Instead, he just rage quits. Ooh, here we go. A little sun that I can sell with. Now, keep in mind, when I do these videos, there will be times I may either lag up, or there will be times I may get disconnected. But here, what I'm about to talk about here, after I'm done with these quests, I'm actually going to go into doing professions, which will basically, if you start at a very early level, it will really help you in the long run. Especially when you get to max level. Because like I said, there are certain things you can do. And if you start off early, then like I said, it'll help you in the long run, because there are certain professions like alchemy or blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring. That's another way of getting legitimate gear without any special requirements or anything, or even wasting gold. You're basically hunting for the materials yourself, and then you just make your own gear from there. But there's certain people who like to make gear just to sell to the auctioneer for about a lot of gold. That's one thing to take advantage of all these professions. People will take advantage of them just to make gold. Oh, excuse me. God damn. I'm sorry about that. I'm just like crazy today. But yeah, I'm gonna do one video will be from level 1 to level 10. I will do a little bit of an expansion on that video just to show you how each spec goes and what you should decide. For very new players, I strongly recommend you doing DPS first, because when it comes to dungeons and raids, you got not that much of responsibility. But the thing is, when it comes to tanks, you have to like get all the mobs on you. This is where you become better geared to handle higher defense, and to be able to handle heavy punishments, a bunch of mobs on you. Like you can have like 5, 10, 15 mobs on you. But here's another thing that will come into play. Healers. They will basically keep you alive for as long as they can, as long as they don't run out of mana. But there, in each dungeon there's always one tank, one healer, and 3 DPS. When it comes to raids, there's 2 tanks, I believe 4 or 5 healers, and the rest are DPS. But if you make your own kind of raid group, then you can have as many of whatever you want. Like, I watched this live raid for Siege of Orgrimmar through BlizzCon and the virtual ticket. There's certain groups that did like 4 healers, other ones did 5 healers, some did like 2 or 3 tanks, just to keep things running and make sure everything goes smoothly. Once I reach to that level, I will start doing raid videos, live raids, and hopefully I can do so with guilds, friends. In fact, I'll even leave my battle tag in the description in case you want to join me in these. And if you want to teach me how to raid, or how to help me raid better, then I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Here's another thing when it comes to doing killing legitimately. What you can possibly be lucky to handle like 2 or 3 mobs at a time, depending on the abilities and what type of character you have. It's always best to save the 2 or 3 or more mobs on you if you actually can be able to heal yourself and keep your own self alive. Like druids, for an example. They can heal themselves and keep themselves alive because they can actually heal themselves. I believe shamans could do the same thing too. And then once you reach a certain level, there are certain ways you can be able to heal yourself. Like once you kill a mob and you're no longer in combat, you can get a profession called first aid, which means you can be able to heal yourself with bandages. It won't be that effective, but you know what? It's the best you can do. Oh, and here's another thing. These rare mobs. These guys will drop really good gear or really good treasure for you. Now, hopefully if you could be able to kill one. Like right now, level 6, he's level 7. They're a little tougher to beat. Like, I could try to run for a little bit. And they will give me these debuffs, which will really hurt me pretty bad. And usually when you see this little red thing around you, oh god, now this thing's gonna come into play now. Oh shoot. I did not mean for that to happen, but it's okay because these guys are pretty much easy to kill. When you defeat rare mobs, you'll see this little silver thing across. That means you'll get better than average loot and whatnot. There are also there's another thing that's like bigger and it's gold called Elite. Those things are super hard to defeat if you're doing this legitimately. Now see here, I got a rogue that's actually helping me. I really appreciate it from this rogue. Now see, you just got a new you got a new pouch, a new bag. Bags are really helpful for you to have because you can be able to hold more loot and stuff. It's always best, especially if you're hunting your own professions and making your own equipment and whatnot. Like if I wanted to, this character I can either do herbalism and alchemy, herbalism and inscription, or I can do leatherworking and skinning. I can do enchantment, and I forget what that other part was that I can have. That'll help for the ability where I can do engineering and mining, blacksmithing and mining, jewel crafting and mining. There's a lot of possibilities, and there's all these secondary professions that every character can use. Fishing, cooking, and first aid. I don't know about archaeology, because I've never done that before. And certain quests, they'll give you decent rewards. Like, I just got another bag here. And some will sell pretty good, but you don't want to sell them. And I just got this Severed Voodoo Claw, which will reduce a mob's or a player's DPS for like 2 minutes. And right now it can only be useful for noobs, so save those for when you have to defeat rare mobs, especially if you're doing things legitimately. And grab as many quests as you possibly can, because that's more of the XP you're going to be getting. Quests right now as a low level, that's your main thing to do to level up fast. That's why it's all when you do things legitimate, quests. When you do dungeons, do the quests. When you do raids, do the quests. And once you reach maximum level, obviously you won't be able to XP anymore unless Blizzard comes up with another expansion. But until they come up with another expansion, once you reach level 110, you're basically screwed from that point. And you basically can take advantage of it to of the quests, earn gold, gear, time walking dungeons to go back into the old dungeons. And yeah. Oh man, that's so much I talked about. And I'm already level 7. So see how you notice your health is really, really low? When it comes to doing dungeons and stuff, don't be surprised if they kick you out, because they are like, why is he so low on health? Oh my god, he has got no BOA gear. Let's get rid of him. There will be a ton of dickheads, and they will not give a fuck what reason you're so ungeared. They think you're ungeared and whatnot. They just don't want to have the entertainment and fun. They're like, I'm not going to waste my time doing this. I want to get to level 100 fast. And sorry if I'm running around a little bit. I'm trying to do this one quest. I just need one more fell cone. And as you're doing so, you can go ahead and kill mobs along the way, because obviously they're going to get in your way at one point. Now when it comes to mobs like these, when they're red, they will aggro on you. If it gets red, the further you are, they will aggro. I mean, if they're skull or red, skull means that level's too high and you won't be able to see what level it is. It'll just show like a question mark, but up here it'll show a skull, which means you're basically dead at this point. Then there's orange, which you have an okay chance of beating it, depending on what kind of gear you have. 7 is like, alright, this kind of color right here looks like a bit of a yellow-orange. They're basically average to you. Green, the closer you are, the less they'll aggro, but don't get too close because they will still aggro. Once they're gray out, you will not benefit from them anymore except for the loot. Well, you won't benefit XP wise, especially when it comes to PvP. Once they're like grayed out, that means you won't benefit from them at all. But when they show a yellow thing on, they will not aggro. If they show red, they will aggro. Now when it comes to city reputations, there's always yellow, green, orange, and red. When it, like neutral cities like let's say Booty Bay, which you can actually find in the Eastern Kingdoms all the way down here. That's a neutral city. Basically, you start off neutral, which is yellow. Once you reach orange, they're unfriendly. They still won't attack you. However, you won't be able to interact with them. And that's the thing. Reputation goes by hostile, hated, hostile, unfriendly, neutral, friendly, honored, revered, or exalted. Once you reach hostile, don't even bother interacting, going close to the city or anything, because they will kill you. Like these guys right here, they're red, they're either hated or exalted. They won't show a reputation. In fact, speaking of reputations, you'll see your reputation list right here. Like right now, everything except for Gilneas is all friendly. Gilneas is neutral. And if you're wondering what Gilneas is, it's a city for Worgens. Worgens don't ever have a major city down there. They don't. But instead you start off as human, and then after a while you will turn into this werewolf kind of creature called Worgen. Half wolf, half human. And actually, unlike regular humans, like you would have seen my warrior in my previous videos, when it comes to a Worgen, those humans actually speak a little bit of British. And then when it comes time they become a Worgen, they have this weird, angry, but at the same time English voice. But yeah. Now this one's actually really fun for me, because I like going in these caverns. There's so many mobs you can deal with, like these guys here. And then once you get into the middle with this kind of quest, you'll actually have an NPC to aid you in this, because there's so many mobs down here, and they're like, oh, let's not make it too unfair for the players, we'll give them an aid. Like right here, there's my aid, level 7. And then you do quests basically in here, and quests will become really good. Now this one's a really hard quest to deal with, because obviously out of all these mobs only one's gonna drop the item. But you can take advantage of the NPC aid to find the items on this quest list. Like I'm about to go up here and I'm about to pick up an item that the aid will direct me to if I ask. There's your first quest item. And if you're like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and take shortcuts, go for it. Now there are so many people down here, so we're most likely going to see dead mobs everywhere. But like I said, take advantage of whatever aid you can get. Whoever aids you in these, whether it be an NPC or an actual player, still will be legit. Shoot, here we go, I thought they were gonna go after him, shoot. Take certain items if you really have to, especially if you only have limited space in your storage. And actually, whatever ones that you really want to save, excuse me, goddamn. The way you can get other storage is through the banks in the major cities, like front lines. You got Stormwind, you got Ironforge, Darnassus. I still cannot pronounce that other one, but that's where Drain Eyes Drain Eyes will be spawn. And then yeah. Just like I said, keep in mind, you want to be fun and fair, just do things legit. If you want to help any of the new players, go for it. They will appreciate your help. Unless they're dickheads and be like, oh, I don't need to thank him. He just did it just because he wanted to. Actually, they actually really updated the game to the point where if one player attacks a mob, like let's say someone else attacks him, like right now they just did, everybody gets the loot. Because before, when someone hits, that thing will gray out and you will not benefit from that at all. Because, yeah, that's how it worked back then. But now, it doesn't gray out at all. So everybody can help in any way, shape, and form they want. And they won't even regret helping because everybody gets the loot. And I just went in here already. Okay, I already collected all the relics. Now all I need is kill 4 more of these bears and get the shaman voodoo charm, which hopefully I will pretty soon. Hopefully I will, because I'm going to need it, especially for the quests. If you lost the person that's going to aid you, it's fine. It will happen. It's not that much of a big deal or anything, but it will become a big deal at a later time if you got like too many mobs on you. Shoot. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Here's that person. Now you can go ahead and climb up there for a little bit if you want, because obviously that's where your quest mobs are. And then hopefully pretty soon you will get that voodoo charm that you acquire for the quests. Because like I said, out of all these mobs, only one will drop. So don't be like, oh, why am I doing this? I'm going to get too much XP. Oh, there we go. I just got the voodoo charm. Well, don't worry about it. You want to get the XP. You want to level up, don't you? Well, that's your way. Killing mobs, completing quests, and just doing your best. Okay, so that's done. So we're going to go ahead and turn this quest in. That. Continue. Complete quests. And now, certain quests like this, you would actually pick up a good weapon. I'm going to go ahead, since it's one hand, I could be able to wear that if I wanted to. Now with monks, you always use your fists, but when it comes to these kinds of weapons, you'll stay disarmed, but at the same time, you'll still benefit from them. Now here's how the voodoo thing is going to come into play. Let's kill this guy right quick. Once you loot him, you click that. Use on the fallen body of Rage Claw. You're basically releasing his spirit. And that's done. So you go ahead and complete your quests. And would you look at that? Oh, here we go. We get a healing spell now. So now I could be able to heal myself if I'm ever in trouble. And I just got my first weapon. That's a common weapon, which is pretty easy to get. Especially when it comes to certain mobs you can loot. Let me keybind that right quick. Do that. So I can be able to do that without having to click on it. Excuse me. I do apologize for my belching. But it happens. Shit happens. Now comes doing this quest, which I gotta go all the way back there. But like I said, I gotta do this legitly, so I can't really use much of anything but just to run. Now, as for how long it'll take me to get to level 100, the world may never know. It could take months. Could take, I would say, if I were to do this legitly, I can give myself an estimate of about 3 months to complete this. But I don't know. And like I said, for each video, I will be doing level 1 to 10 with a slight bit of extension to give more information. If you get too many mobs on you, when it comes to being a night elf, here's the best advantage. Boom. Your stealth. and you can basically get away from those guys. Now, usually when it comes to me, I want to complete all the quests before I turn them in. But for some of you, you can go ahead and turn them in if you want. I'm going to go ahead and do it for me. But that means I'm going to end up running back to the city either way. Because as for the quest location, who knows where it will be. And then actually, you know what? If you explore the whole area, you will actually earn an achievement that you explored all of this. And this is actually one gigantic tree. But when it comes to Mrs. of Pandaria, when you play a panda for the first time, your starting city will be on a giant turtle. But yeah, we're on top of a huge tree. And I believe that there was some video that'll actually show you actually how to get the GM island. I heard that it's true, but the GMs have really fixed it so no one can actually attempt to do it again. Because I've been seeing people actually making videos of how to get the GM island, and if you happen to be there, you will get banned. Because I've seen people got banned from there. And okay, I cannot think. Let's turn him into a frog. Ribbit, no, this cannot, Ribbit. B, you have duped me with, Ribbit. Your foul trick, Ribbit. I don't know why I said that. I just want to be retarded. Anyway, I just had a bit of a brain fart again. Now here comes another part of the quest, which I will be hunting those same type of bear-like humanoids again, but in a different way. But there's certain characters like druids, monks, and rogues. After a certain level, you can get actually a bit of a legitimate speed boost buff. Rogues, you get a speed ability called Sprint, which will actually let you run up to 70% faster for a short amount of time. When it comes to monks, I got Roll, which will actually roll me a short distance. Mages, I forget what level it is, but you get an ability called Blink, and you will actually flash to a different spot. Like if I were to use it right now, I'd be in front of this mob. Demon Hunters, if you're DPS, you'll actually have an ability that you can be able to speed yourself to a character. Warriors, you have an ability called Charge, which you can speed to that mob. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Balanced druids and any kind of hunters will be able to jump back. Guardian druids and feral druids, you can jump in front of the character. Or no, not jump, but ferals jump. Or should I say leap to one. Druids have a similar ability to charge. And there we go. But yeah, I'm probably going to start slowly stop talking about things now. Because there's some I've been repeating myself over and over again. But when it comes to certain videos, some people are like, oh, I gotta talk about a lot of things and blah blah blah. It's not always all that necessary. You just don't want to fill people's heads with a bunch of gibberish. But yeah, that's it for this area. Now we got one more area, which will be way up there. If you don't feel like running at this point, you can always use your Hearthstone video. Oh shoot. I did not see that coming. Let me go ahead and kill him right quick. Your Hearthstone will teleport you to the inn that you decided to get yourself to. Like, if it weren't for that other inn, like, I would have been put back into here, and I don't feel like running all the way out there. But since I went to the innkeeper in this city, I can actually go ahead and use my Hearthstone ability. When you actually go into an area where you're going to be at a whole lot, if you happen to find an inn, speak to the innkeeper, you'll be teleported to that inn. And it did it to me. God damn, I thought I talked to the person. I must be a huge idiot. There we go, I can put that on. I forgot about that. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just speed through this part. Alright, welcome back. I apologize for that long ass delay. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and accept more quests. And there we go. So now my main focus is in this area now. But yeah, they've made so many major updates to the game. If you have not played the game in a really, really long time, I suggest you start watching YouTube videos on how to figure it out at this point. Because, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. Some you won't even understand. Some you're like, holy shit, there's like a lot of updates. Why do you gotta do this to us? Someone else probably just did my job for me. Thanks for killing them, bitch. And I use these to basically grasp them until they die. But look at that. Oh, I miss. I miss again. There we go. You will miss a couple of times, which is fine. Thought I would get that one. And once they're grasped on, they won't be able to do anything anymore. Yeah, they're dead once they're in their grip. Shoot. Did not mean for that to happen. Now if you're lucky and you get close enough, you can easily kill them both. Just watch your health, because once your health reaches 0, you will die. And unless you're a warlock, you won't be able to resurrect yourself. Because when it comes to warlocks, you get this spell called Soul Stone, which will basically resurrect you if you happen to have it on. And actually there are potions in the game that will actually stay on even after death, because that's how it is. Like those level 90 potions you would get that like increase your strength, agility, intellect, or stamina, they will say will persist even upon death, because that's what they're designed to do. And they're usually flasks. And they're pretty much hard to get unless you can actually do your own alchemy. And actually I will get into a video where how you can actually use certain professions and whatnot. I'll actually do videos like leatherworking, alchemy, blah blah blah, and just show you the ropes. Because like I said, professions will help you in the long run. Especially if you're doing things legitimately like me, it'll benefit you. Gear wise, buff wise, and everything. Now another thing to keep in mind about this video, I'm not going to be purchasing potions or boosts or anything from the auction house. I'm only going to get whatever I loot. Especially when it comes to gold, silver, or copper. It either gotta be looted from a mob, a dungeon mob, or a quest. Oh, why did I just do that? Okay, time for another speed run. Okay, sorry about that. Shit happens. But yeah, right now my health is at 306. My energy will stay 100 until after a certain time. And then once I reach a certain level, I will teach you how to use the talent tree, which will either give you the passive ability or another spell. Like passive abilities, you won't be able to click on or anything. They will automatically do their job. Now I got 2 mobs on me, and I just healed myself. You can use your own healing abilities. If someone else helps you, like I said, that's perfectly fine. But like I said, do this legit. If you start your own group to do this, that's fine by me. Fine. So long as you're doing things without any special gear, without recruit a friend, or anything that will boost your XP or get you geared faster. Like I said, it's gotta be legit. Gotta be. Otherwise, you're basically an unfair player. And I already had my fair share of being an unfair player throughout my wild time career. It's time for a change. It's time to show people that it's always fun to start off level 1 and earning your way to level 100 without boosts or any special type of gear. Now there are certain players who do not understand the fact that everybody shares the XP and loot even if you're not in a group, as long as you're both attacking on the same mob. Because it's been a while since they played a game. They don't understand. They don't know the special updates or anything. like right there. This will definitely get me to, oh, why am I going there? Now to cut time, you can always jump down through these hills. Just don't get yourself stuck. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this for fun. I'm going to go ahead and say my character is stuck. Now hopefully this mob doesn't attack me, which he did. As long if your Hearthstone's on cooldown, what the stuck thing will do will basically suicide you. If your Hearthstone's not on cooldown, then just use that. Other than that, you're basically going to commit suicide at this point. Boom, died. Now if you're like level 10 or below, go ahead and use the spirit healer, because you will not be penalized. Because as you get past level 10, you will be penalized depending on your level. Once you reach level 20 and higher, the maximum penalty time is 10 minutes, which will basically reduce the damage you deal and reduce all your abilities and everything by 75%. Everything's basically reduced by 75%. You'll barely have any health, barely deal damage. And barely be able to do anything. Now, as for these guys, you can basically do whatever you want. Whatever quest you do is completely up to you. Just like I said, have fun and just be friendly. Socialize with other players if you want, especially the people who are new to the game. They'll like to have some help. They'll accept any help they can. Nowadays, they will only, when it comes to higher level players, people will be like, oh, I'll carry you in arenas as long as you pay me 100 gold per win or 200 gold per win. That's just absurd. Completely. You should be helping everybody fair and equally. That's the one thing. Honestly, for me, if I were to submit a feedback to Blizzard Entertainment, I think they should end discrimination of all players of any kind, especially when it comes to MMORPGs. Who knows if they lived outside the US? They could be living in the UK, they could be living in Japan, they could be living in North or South Korea, they could be living in a country we may be starting a war with. But we all need equality. That, honestly, for me, that would actually help in the long run. Especially if I'm from North America and someone I do not know in the game tells me they're like from Japan, or they are from Islam or Russia. I'm just throwing off examples. I'm not trying to be mean or offensive. I'm just throwing examples. For me, I will help everyone in every way I can. Like, I usually do live streams sometimes. I do free carries, especially when I'm specialty as a tank. I will carry people for free, even if I'm not fully geared. And I think I did an old video before, how I had friends who were basically completely under geared. I was like either near or already fully geared. I basically helped them win a 3v3 arena. It's just when it comes to raiding arenas, those you gotta take serious sometimes. And when you're dealing with people who are trying to carry you, they'll be like, you suck. I'm not gonna deal with you. I'm not gonna pay you shit. There are even some players who will take your gold before you even enter an arena. That's basically theft right there. That's why for me, I do it for free. I don't make people pay. And actually, another thing when it comes to making people pay and stuff, they're actually people are trying to scam others, and they're get 400,000 gold for like $20, or get like 100,000 gold for like $10 and blah blah blah. Delivery within a certain time, blah blah blah. I actually got hacked and banned because apparently someone hacked my account and did that. But I did get my account back because obviously I wasn't online at the time. I was actually on a Greyhound bus on my way here to Michigan. But I was not online. I got banned. I got restored and everything, and they got me all set, ready to go. But just be careful and take things into serious moderation, especially if it will compromise your account. Like, there are some people who are saying, I'll help you get geared quickly and easily. All you gotta do is pay a certain amount and let me log into your character. There are certain ones that does like no account sharing, you play your own character. Obviously there are a lot of scams going on here. And I'm actually thinking about doing a video about how in-game scammers will go. I may chat with a Blizzard GM to let them know I'm planning on doing a video, and how doing spams like that will affect your game, whether you be suspended or something. There are certain people who will get suspended for like a few hours to 24 hours, depending on the severity. You will get permanent ban. Especially when it comes to botting. That's when someone else is controlling your character, whether it be a computer system or obviously aka a robot, accessing your account and helping you do things without you actually doing it. They'll be like, after pulling the notes on that account, we noticed that there was botting going on the account, and since the action has been reviewed multiple times, it has been decided that the account will not be restored. That has actually happened to someone. Oh, it didn't get turned in yet, that other one. Thank you again, Hero. This rare earth will be very helpful in my experiments. Turn this in. I am probably just one quest away to level 10. And then at that point we'll be showing a little information about the specs, and then we will conclude the video from there. Now, do keep in mind, there will be people who will actually want to do this and follow in my footsteps on wanting to raise a character legitimately. And if you do that, that's good. That just goes to show how much of a fair player you are. Because I hate dealing with unfair players. I hate dealing with rage quitters. And the biggest thing I will not tolerate one little bit is discrimination. Because they'll be like, people, I'm just saying this as an example, I'm not trying to be offending or anything. They'll be like, oh, you shouldn't be on here because you're this, or because you're that, or because, they'll actually start banning people from actually, doing this, I'm not going to say the exact and the true thing, because some people may get offended about it. Even though I'm not trying to be offending, I'm just throwing it as an example. I don't want to piss anyone off. But some people will attempt to take things the wrong way and will try to attempt to bash on me about it, which I frankly don't care if anybody bashes on me. I frankly do not care, because most of the time I'll just ignore it. Like, I had someone comment on one of my videos saying, oh, fuck, what was it, oh, your videos are trash and everything, blah blah blah. Okay, now that I reached level 10, I didn't mean to cut myself off right there. Now you can basically choose between which abilities you want. If you are a brand new type of person actually wanting to play World of Warcraft for the first time, this will be your best bet to do first. If you want to take on the extra responsibilities, you can go Brewmaster, which is tank, which your primary stat's still agility, but you will need a decent amount of stamina as well. Speaking of that, agility increases the magnitude of your attacks and abilities. Stamina will increase your health. Armor is basically, obviously, protection. And then special enhancements that you will get either by racial or gear, you get critical strike or haste. But right now, your best bet, and you could always change this at a later time, will be DPS. I'm actually going to stay DPS at this point. So there you go. I'm actually going to go ahead and continue just a little bit more just to be able to enter into the city. Actually, you know what? It's actually closer just again back to the home. So there you go. That basically concludes the video. And like I said, I hope you actually follow in my footsteps on doing this. Now, here are reminders. I have said it before. I'm going to say it again. This video is going to be 100% pure legit. No BOA gear, no XP boosts, except for whatever I get in the inn. No special gearing or anything unless it gets dropped by a mob, or I get it off of quests, or I get it from dungeons or raids. If I do experience character deaths, they will happen. I will not let that stop me from doing what I gotta do. I'll just do speed runs. Well, I'll just speed through the being in spirits, which I just showed you earlier. And there will be certain areas where if you die, you'll still be able to fly. That just depends on where you are. So there you go. Level 10. You're staying DPS. And hopefully pretty soon I will bring in some more information for you guys. Now before I do log out, there are certain characters that will only be able to do DPS in any of the 3 specs. Like mages and warlocks and hunters for an example, rogues for an example. There'll be ones that you can be able to tank, DPS, and heal. Like monks, druids, paladins. There'll be characters where you'll be able to only DPS and tank, like demon hunters and death knights. There are characters that will only DPS and heal, like shamans and priests. So hopefully you get some more information on these videos, and I will continue on the journey as days go along. And just let me know how you feel in the comments below. If you have any ideas on any other future videos, also leave it in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up, it will always help. And as always, I will see you pretty soon. Alright, peace out guys.